Hear that? Is that America cheering or a sausage patty sizzling to perfection? It's time to cheer for Egg McMuffin and fresh cracked eggs at McDonald's. It's time to wake up to the aroma of freshly baked biscuits and treat yourself to a real honest-to-goodness morning meal. Breakfast. It's on at McDonald's. Now get any breakfast sandwich for just $2. Available only through the app. Mobile order and pay available at participating McDonald's. McD app download and registration required.
At Kroger, we know the holiday season is going to be special for everyone. So use the Kroger app to get personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. That way you'll get all the fresh holiday specialties you love at prices that are lower than low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's holiday season and you don't know what to get as a gift or stocking stuffer? Well, today's sponsor, Manscaped, has the tools to guarantee you win this year's stocking stuffer or white elephant competition. Manscaped is the leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they have served more than 4 million men worldwide. If my math is correct, that's almost 8 million balls. Get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com with the code TAGS, TAGS. What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. I'm your host, Steve V, and this is episode 321 alongside Cody Maurice Doggett. How the hell are you?
Hello, darling. I'm doing well today. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I had a great weekend, so a little bit, maybe a little too much fun. I'll share in a minute.
Never, no such thing.
Yeah, you know what it is, Cody? It's like the holidays are here, and I'm back in town, and you want to kind of see everybody. And it's always such a festive time to go out with the lights up. And yeah, so I was out yesterday and had a great time. That people should know, if they come into New York, if you want sort of a classic bar scene that has a piano bar to it, is the Monster in the West Village.
Love that bar. Yeah,
cool.
I thought you were going to offer your services for a minute there. I was like, if you want to hang out, come see me, Stevie.
Well,
I'll show you a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a little extra coin,
hey, put my name on that list too.
Have you been naughty or nice? Hopefully naughty.
Oh, always naughty but nice, honey. Okay.
Yes. How was your weekend?
It was good. We went to the Poconos and we rented a house.
The Poconos?
Me, Joe, and a couple of his friends. And there was no snow, so we didn't go skiing or tobogganing like we plan to do. But
where is the Poconos for people?
It's in Pennsylvania. That's why I didn't say. Go ahead.
Wasn't that the place in Dirty Dancing that they went to? Or
was it?
I don't know. It just seems that seems like a yesteryear place that I don't know. But wow, life in Poconos, nice.
I believe it. It gets really dark there. That's what I really know about that place. It gets at night. You can put your hand in front of your face and you won't be able to see it. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh! Wow. So did you guys have a good time?
Oh, we had a fantastic time. We cooked, we ate, we watched TV, we, saw what was there. We explored what we could explore, but there wasn't much of that. But we got a chance to reconnect and get to know each other, and it was a good time.
Oh, that sounds fun. Very nice.
Yeah.
I put up my tree this weekend. And
what? Merry Christmas.
I cooked a little bit, and very fun. I went out, but also I have a story getting into the show here. We've talked about Sniffies before, sniffies.com, and we had the guy who works on the site join us on Tags
I'm
Live
excited.
recently.
I'm excited.
So I went out on Friday night and had a great time at the Eagle and talked to all my friends and had just, met some sexy guys. And so Saturday rolled around and I was watching movies and I'm decorating. And I thought, you know what? I don't really want to do the whole bar thing again. So I decided to turn on Sniffies. And I ended up meeting a guy that said he was at work and in my area. So I live in the Chelsea neighborhood in New York, and it was so many feet away and not too far. And he said that he wanted to be sucked off. And I was interested in that. I noticed he had communicated with me the night before, like somehow I had logged on the site and forgot about it. So he had sent a picture of him in a chair with like a hard dick and cum oozing out of it. So I was like, okay. But what really got my interest was he was at work and he said, could you be discreet? And remember when we were talking to the guy at Sniffies and he said, a lot of it is guys that are maybe not totally out or on the DL. And I immediately was all about this. And so he said, I'm in a building and I'm at work and I'm jerking off in the back. So I was wondering,
my goodness, that sounds so
and I know, but what went through the thing that went through my head, of course, I'm like, okay, he's working, right? So we've been reporting on all these horrible stories of people getting beaten up or when they on Grindr, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to die on this one. I don't have to call Cody and tell him. I don't have to call Cody and tell him that I'm going to be meeting up with somebody because this guy's at work, and I'm going to assess the situation to make sure he's really at work. And all I got was like the street corner, like the two crossing streets. And when I got closer to it, I texted him and said, "Hey, I'm by the place." So he sent me the actual address and said, "Walk in." And so I walked to the building, and it was like a high-rise doorman building. So he was a doorman. I know, and I've always had a thing for doormen, and so he literally told me that it was all dark inside too. So I guess it's one of those buildings that you can let yourself in. There is a doorman too. Clearly, he wasn't working at the moment. And he said, I'm just going to leave the door ajar, but do me a favor and shut it and then walk in. So it was dark. I walk in. I'm, looking around, where am I going? And I see a desk to the left that you can't really see from the street. So I walk over there and all I hear is see sort of a silhouette of a guy sitting in an office chair with his back to me. And he said, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And I was like, so I said, "Hey," fumbling around and giving him his pen back because that's what he had me hold the door open with. Okay. And so I go in. He says, "Come around the corner and get on your knees," which I promptly did. And literally, he came like when I walked over there. He was Latino, sexy guy, and he had asked if I had poppers. So he put his hand out just like, and before I could, I almost put my hand out to shake his hand, but he was asking for poppers.
Just like, no, I don't want your hand to shake. Give me what I need right now.
I was totally quick about it and like put my hand away. I said, "Oh, yep, here's the poppers, just like you asked for." And gave him the poppers, got on my knees, sucked him off. And he had one of those uniforms, the old school uniforms that a lot of the doormen wear from kind of back in the day. They're kind of a cross between a suit and, I don't know, maybe a cruise ship look to it or something like that.
Not Isaac from The Love Boat.
It was kind of Isaac. No, he wore a white tuxedo. You could play Isaac if they have the reboot.
I could if they do the reboot. Come, I got the mustache. I got to go in. I just had to let my afro grow out.
Yes, exactly. We can fix that.
Yeah, girl.
No, it was more like, a gray suit, but formalized, and his pants were down, other than the top of it. And I went to
Wait.
town. Yeah, and he's sitting like, if you sit in an office chair and you're totally slouched down. The only thing he
Uh-huh.
said to me was, if you hear somebody come in, just duck further down.
Wait,
And
you didn't suck him off underneath the desk?
no, like, right, but you
That's
would
so,
have
that's
we
so
would have
hot. That's
heard.
like one of my dreams to have somebody suck me off while they're underneath the desk, and then have somebody come in and be like, "But I need that report by 9 o'clock, by 5 o'clock."
Oh my God. I think that would have just sent me over the edge. And knowing my clumsy ass, I would have totally bumped my head or did something totally ridiculous. So I'm so glad no one did come in. But
Uh,
we were hidden and I sucked him off. He asked if I wanted his load, even. And
ooh.
I said yes. It was really hot, actually. And when
All
it
right,
was
you
over
might have to
with,
excuse me. Can we pause the podcast real quick?
yeah, real quick. He was such a cool guy, though, because in the end, it was such a transaction. But he said, well, hit me up whenever you want, which I thought was cool because, it could have been like, get out or whatever. And now he's like, no, hit me up sometime. I now know where it is. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to roam over there. I will hit him up on the app Sniffies. But
Yes.
I thought, wow, for a first experience on this could have been a better experience, ever, really, right? Or one of the hottest ones.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, for sure. That sounds so. It makes me like think about. I was literally just thinking, maybe me and my boyfriend could go on Sniffies and pretend to meet each other on Sniffies, and that would be a good way to kind of like, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
make it like a
I think
dangerous situation.
I think that would be really hot. I
I
mean,
think that's hot too.
definitely. And do it somewhere. You love outdoor sex. It's a little cold right now, so maybe not outdoors, but you could do it in a bathroom somewhere, I don't know, in a mall.
I love outdoor sex, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it out now. I'm going to bring it up to him tonight, as a matter of fact.
I love it. All right. Well, cool. Well, that's my Sniffy story, and I'll report back if I see the guy. And of course, it got me to sign up for one of their longer paying promos where you get a few more perks on
Oh,
it. But
nice.
yeah, so I'll let you know if I hook up with him again. But very
Please
hot.
do. I need to know all the details. All these
the
details about.
deets.
We could do a weekly anthology. Sniffies.
Exactly. Absolutely. Well, we've got a whole show of hot sex topics, but before we do, I just want to tell you about right now you can get some Tags merchandise. There's still time to order your favorite person or yourself some Tags merch for the holidays, and you have to order by this Thursday to get it in time for Christmas. So check out our store. Just go to tagspodcast.com and hit the link, Tags merch. Still a little hungover, I think. And right now there's up to 30% off up until December 19th. So check it out.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
Well, let's get into hot topics here. And I don't know, did you know this, Cody? But Jussie Smollett is back in court about that alleged whole debacle that he was involved in.
I heard.
And yeah, back in court. And so we all know Jussie Smollett reported a terrifying gay hate crime, which soon after began unraveling under the watchful eye of the mainstream media. Well, now his defense is saying they're trying to, those two brothers that are on court, and they alleged Jussie Smollett apparently in 2018 went with one of the guys to a gay sauna in Chicago that I've been to before called Steamworks. Steamworks, yeah. And so they say on Wednesday's hearing, Abimbola, which is one of the brothers, told the court that he attended Steamworks, the gay sauna located in Chicago's Boys Town. He was then asked if gay porn played on the screen. Interesting question, which Abimbola said he didn't recall. And that's sort of a term, by the way. I don't recall when you don't want to say no.
Yeah.
And so the lawyer says, you don't recall seeing gay pornography. You don't remember masturbating with him. Jerking off is what they were referring to. And so I don't know. It's interesting to think, do you believe, Cody, that they did go to Steamworks and that this happened? Because it's pretty specific.
Well, it makes me inclined to not believe him because he doesn't recall if there was gay porn on the television screens. Because when I am somewhere and I see gay porn, I automatically register the porn into my brain. It goes into my porn Rolodex. And
yeah, you're so funny you mentioned that, because I was at the New York Eagle and they have great porn up on the TV screens. And I was on a mission to find out, where do they get their porn scenes from?
Exactly.
And I found out it was this DJ who captures all of them and puts them on a thumb drive. But I was like, oh my God, I was like a dog on a mission. Like, I had to find out who is getting this porn. And I certainly found out. But, you know, like I said, Cody, he says he didn't recall. And that's sort of a term that people will use when you don't want to. If you say you don't recall, you're not saying no or yes.
Exactly. So he's being evasive, in my opinion.
Evasive, right.
Yes.
So maybe he did remember, but saying didn't recall can't really get you into trouble.
It just screams of some misdeeds to me. I don't know who to believe in this situation right now. And I just hope that the truth finally comes to light pretty soon. Because
right.
I blame Jussie Smollett for all the gay hate crimes. No, I can't say that.
No,
right. It was a joke that was coming out, and then it was pretty bad because.
No, I hear you. No, but it's interesting because the end of this article that I'm quoting from on Cocktail and Cock Talk says, to summarize, Jussie Smollett is claiming that an extra from the show Empire, in which he has a main part, masturbated with him at a gay sauna, dated him, but then attacked him because he's also homophobic. So it's just kind of hard to follow all of this because it's so bizarre, right? I mean, I don't know about the whole.
Who do you believe?
I don't believe Jussie. I think he's totally lying, and he can't. And he's gotten everybody to believe him in his team in court, and they're standing by their messaging. And even with when you see him walk into court, he's like doing the fist bump, like, you know, pride or power or whatever. We shall overcome type of thing. And I'm like, oh, please. I don't believe it for a minute. I didn't believe it, you know, early on 2 years ago, and I don't believe him now. So,
well, I definitely don't believe him, and I don't necessarily believe that other guy as well. So I think that it seems the other guy, it screams of him like paper chasing or clout chasing, what have you. And it seems like the truth is somewhere in the small details of that. So we'll figure it out eventually. It'll all come to light.
Exactly. All right. Well, moving on. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this twink. He's a porn star. He goes by Austin Young.
Okay. Not very
Austin Young brags. Austin Young brags about twink porn success in a new UK documentary, which I watched it today. It's on. I'll put this up on TagsPodcast.com because it's short. It's like maybe just under 10 minutes, and he is quoted as saying, so twink gay porn star Austin Young is the subject of a new documentary on British public television network Channel 4, and it's bringing new definition to the word cringe. And this is according to Straight Up Gay Porn. I watched it. I have sort of a different understanding of it. But in the 8-minute clip, it's under The Family Dick. Have you heard of that? I've watched some of those.
I Googled him, and I do know who this porn star is.
Okay.
So yes, I have watched Family Dick before, and he's on a bunch of other stuff too.
So
like
in
the
this
morning.
8-minute clip, the Family Dick turned gaysist star boasts about his youthful appearance, taking viewers through his daily routine of drinking coffee with whipped cream, intermittent fasting, spraying sunscreen on himself multiple times, getting full body laser removal, going to the pharmacy to get more sunscreen, and maybe treating himself to some Dr. Pepper. It's actually very funny. That
Okay.
part of so I watched the whole thing, and he has an obsession with staying young and looking young
Uh-huh.
because he's not 18. I think he looks really young, but there's some telling moments about it in the documentary, like his family doesn't really accept him, or accept what he does.
Okay.
But he also says he's very proud of what he does. He says it's a job, absolutely an acting job. And because the type of porn that he does,
Hmm.
he is worried that, how long can I keep this going? And it's because it's all based on looking
Yeah.
young. And he says, as long as I look under 18, we're good to go.
What? Oh, okay.
Um,
All right.
yeah. And so, but the whole like obsession with the sunscreen, like he takes one of those cans of sunscreen that you normally would spray on your face, and he's like several times a day he's spraying his face, and the whole thing about laser removal. And when he's preparing his morning coffee, he drinks this keto kind of coffee, and it's like the only thing he drinks. He gets up at like 4:45 in the morning and doesn't
Uh-huh.
have anything till 8:30 in the morning, and it's not much. I mean, it sounds like horrible, like I would not want this life.
I
But
know,
anyway,
right? Who wants to do that?
but the article suggests that because while Young brags that he's selling the underage experience and even admits that some of his fans, quote, could be pedophiles,
You think?
he adamantly denies any responsibility for illegal sexual activity
Okay.
perpetrated by those fans. That's
Yeah.
all on them, Young said, adding that has nothing to do with me. And the this article just goes on to say twink porn and twinks in general are great, the writer says. But no doubt Legrand Wolf, who's part of the videos, the older guy that's in a lot of these, is deliberately misconstruing his genre for a mainstream documentary audience while pushing the false notion that gay men jerk off to twink porn because they
Hmm.
think the actors are children.
Hmm.
This person writes is insane and can only embolden right wing bigots who believe gay men are pedophiles.
Yes.
Um, I don't know. What do you think about this? Because I watched the whole thing, and I don't think it comes across that way. I do think there's a fantasy. First of all, he says 18, which is legal, and it might put that out there a little bit. But what are your thoughts on it? Because I have some more
Is
to say on it.
is he 18 now? Because he's been doing this porn for quite a while. So,
No, I think the whole thing is as long as I look 18. No, I think
oh,
he's
okay.
much older than that. I don't know
Okay.
what
All
age
right.
he is, but I think that's the point is he's trying to maintain his
The
18-year-old.
illusion. There's a lot to
Yes.
unpack here because no, he can't be implicated for something that somebody else does as far as their actions in pedophilia or what have you. But maybe he's uh, furthering the illusion of sex with a younger person. I mean, I guess that you can. I'm like, this is stream of consciousness right here.
Right.
So it's just, I guess, like if he's capable of looking 18 when he's really, let's say he's 35, okay, he's gonna probably
Okay.
come from my neck
Yeah, right.
when he hears that I called
Yeah.
him 35.
Yeah, but let's just for the sake of this.
Yes, for the sake of this, let's say he's 35, and so that would mean that it's still possible for a 35-year-old to, if they did the spray tan and if they only ate what he eats or what have you to still look very youthful. I mean, I look very youthful for my age.
Right.
Let me just put that out there. So
You do.
I don't think, thank you. I don't think that he can be implicated in pedophilia at all. And I think it's very worrisome that because porn is a fantasy at the end of the day. And I think that when you go into it with that mindset, I think that is when you can take porn in a healthy way, in a healthy demeanor. And I think that it just goes to show that there are many facets to gay people. And this is just it's a weird question, Steve. I am confounded right here. I just don't know.
Well, it's just it's interesting because the writer of this piece really took let's see, Zach on Straight Up Gay Porn had a writer or somebody that follows Zach's column write in and share this documentary, and they both kind of came from the same viewpoint that this is kind of lascivious and it's promoting pedophilia and it's only going to get these right wing types to really say, see, all gays are pedophilias. And I don't see that at all. I think it's a slanted viewpoint of this. And I watched the actual, because I thought, you know what? Because at first, at reading this, I thought, oh, you know what? But I've watched some of these, and this guy, the one we're talking about, Austin Young, is in real life, he's always been attracted to older guys. That is a thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. I've known plenty of older guys that like really young. It's not my thing, but I will admit that I've watched the porn before, and there's something very hot and sexy about kind of that twink and older kind of taking control that is really hot, I think. But nowhere in there do I think they are saying, first of all, we know the actor is 18 and or older, actually. And I think that's why I said he is quoted as saying, as long as I look, well, he does say, as long as I look under 18, we're good to go. That may be where I now see could have have some ringing some alarms, because when you say, as long as I look 18, if he had said, as long as I look 18,
knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I think, now where I could see where some of these guys were kind of, the alarm bells are sounding, because
for me too.
Under 18 isn't a good thing. He probably shouldn't have said that, because that is obviously, I mean, pedophilia,
exactly.
Know? And
for lack of a better word.
However, when you watch the whole documentary, the whole 8-minute documentary, which I encourage everybody to, at least that's what they're saying here. I thought it was under not 10, but regardless, I think, you really get an inside look at a guy that really wants to maintain his youth, because it's keeping, paying his bills. And it is, I've watched some of these, like I said, and I like them, and, not all of them, but and I'm not even into like twinks but I think they're well done, and I don't go there. He also is on record saying, because the documentarian presses him a little bit and says, are you ever worried that, you might be encouraging people that are pedophilias? And he says, I'm pretty certain there might be some of our fans that could go there, but he says what they do on their own is on them. And I think, I don't find it really cringy. The only thing I do find cringy, and that he shouldn't have probably said, is, as long as I look under 18, we're good to go. Because that there is, I think he should have just stuck with, as long as I look 18, then we're good to go. You know?
I agree. I think that it's a slippery slope. I think that this is the edge of the gray area before it goes into the black, because everything's not in black and white, but this is a very gray area. And as long as everybody is above 18 and above, and consenting adults, and what have you, everything is above board, then I don't see how we can hold him accountable for other people's actions. And I do agree with that.
Yeah, and it's like you said earlier, it's all fantasy, and there is a thing about daddy twink. That's a thing. There are guys that like older guys, and there's guys that like twinks, and there's nothing wrong with it. They should. The whole documentary, I think, is fine. I think this article is truly slanted, but I do think that one comment by Austin is a little bit. You could read
Alarming.
it in a negative way, alarming, and maybe he should have thought about that comment a little bit. And but
I'm definitely going to look at any porn that he does with new eyes, I feel like, because
did I just ruin your whole
I think the fantasy has been shattered for me because well, now I have to think about pedophiles when I watch his porn. Oh man, no. That's not a good thing for me. So
I will, like I said, post this on tagspodcast.com for you to watch the documentary. It's interesting. I think you'll find it entertaining, and we want to hear what you think. So let us know. Ho ho ho, fellas! Naughty or nice, 'tis the season to perform. Fellows, this is your host, Steve V of Tags Podcast, and prior to being introduced to Manscaped, I can tell you that it was always a race last minute to get a disposable blade where I always nicked my underarms, my crotch, the most important part, and even my ass area. Well, when Manscaped came around, all of that went out the door, mainly because of two products they carry. I'm talking about the Lawnmower Body Trimmer 4.0 and the Weed Whacker for my nose. Have you ever been sitting across from somebody and you just wanted to tell them, pull that nose hair out? Well, with both of these products, they keep me in track, ready to go at all times. They're one of those things that you can do as you get in the shower before you go out. When you get out, put the Weed Whacker up to your nose and just trim away. They've got so many other products, but they will make a great Christmas present to your boo or whomever is on your Christmas list this season. I guarantee it, because Manscaped's best-selling product is the Performance Package 4.0, which is at the top of every man's wish list this year. What will you find in their Lawnmower Body Trimmer? Well, it's the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body, and the Weed Whacker, which I talked about, ear and nose hair trimmer. Let's not forget their famous liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner, to maximize your ball hygiene routine. Get the Performance Package now to receive their 2 free gifts. I'm talking about the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag, which I was darting around carrying with me all in Puerto Vallarta. I love it. Now, these are the picks for Manscaped Surefire Win Stocking Stuffers. Number 1, the Manscaped 2-in-1 Shampoo Plus Conditioner, which was just launched, killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Number 2, the Manscaped Cologne Infused Body Wash. Number 3, Shears 2.0 Luxury 4-Piece Nail Kit. Number 4, Crop Mops, ball wipes for the stanky balls. And coming in at number 5, Manscaped Signature Cologne. These formulations are all vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, and paraben-free, so you know their products are legit. Make sure you hurry to their site to ensure these wild gifts show up before the holiday season. And while you're at it, get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com using our code TAGS, TAGS. Whether this is for your partner, dad, brother, friend, get them something that they will actually use, and it's almost sure to get a laugh. Again, get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with the code TAGS, TAGS. Be the ballsiest gift giver this year with Manscaped. You can always DM us at Tags Podcast on Instagram. Okay, well, moving on. This one, you, Cody, are a Drag Race fan and
super fan.
Super fan. Well, a porn star responds to a sex tape with Drag Race star Milk.
Ooh.
with the quote, "Shit happens." And we kind of mean literally on this one. And I want to know what you think of it. I have some definite thoughts. In case you missed it, last year, Drag Race Queen Milk. Were you a fan of Milk?
Meh.
Meh. Okay, well then this might follow along the lines. Milk had a bit of an accident on their OnlyFans while bottoming for porn star Diego Sanz.
What?
As Milk bends over, ready to take Sanz, Milk begins apologizing via a voiceover. So imagine you're watching this OnlyFans video, you're a fan of it, and Milk's just about to get pounded by Diego Sanz, and then you hear a voiceover that said, "It was a lovely night together, and I hadn't prepped my bottom because I didn't know if we were going to film that night, but we just couldn't help ourselves. So you'll have to forgive some flecks of feces on my rump that you may see." And he is penetrating my butthole. That's where poop comes out. So just remember that and enjoy the hardcore vid. Bye. I don't know if he said it like that, but I figured.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah. And I think Diego Sanz was asked about it on a recent podcast, and he didn't take it so badly. He says, "I mean, what do you want?" Diego responded, "Shit is part of the sex, I guess. If you're fucking a butthole, it might happen." He's a good sport, but what in the name of what's wrong with this on so many levels? Again, when you know too much about something like the last story, it's going to affect whether you want to come back for more. And did we need to know this? And or should he have posted this, Cody? Or do you think that it is part of the game and get over
it? So I do think, first and foremost, I do think that poop is part of the game in butt sex.
Not in porn, no.
That's what that's my next point. Like I said before, porn is a fantasy. I don't want to see in my fantasy.
I don't want to see that.
There is no poop in my fantasy. They should have just scrapped this one and recorded another night, and Milk could have cleaned out. They should have just had fun that first night and then recorded another night and then released that instead when he was prepped for the recording. And I don't understand in the name of
Valerie Cherish, I don't want to see that.
Comeback. Exactly. Hello. I remember the comeback.
Yeah. I definitely would not want to see that. And if I would have wanted a warning on that video and that said ahead of time, because, I follow a couple different OnlyFans stars, and you don't, if some of them post a lot, so you don't get to all of them, or you're like, oh, I don't really like this model this person is like, I'm following Rafael Alencar. Okay. And sometimes I don't like the model, but I'll move. He has so many, I'll just move on to the next. If there was a warning that something like that, I would definitely skip it. And I don't think we needed to know that. And if it's so funny because in the last story, Austin Young is talking about porn and how almost polished porn can be. And here he is doing everything under the sun. And I mean everything to prepare to shoot these scenes. And it's just grueling, it seems, for him to remain looking like a hairless twink. And then on the other hand, you have this OnlyFans who's a Drag Race star, Milk, who is clearly on the other spectrum of it. It's like the D-list over here, who's not afraid to admit shit happens. And it's like, why is that? Like, no, we did not need to see that.
I guess I would immediately be into it.
I would unsubscribe immediately.
Oh, okay. Well,
immediately.
Well, I agree with you.
There's too many OnlyFans people you could follow that shit doesn't happen.
Exactly.
And know a little editing and when to too much information. Like these days, I feel
they could have even edited it out. They could have saw that was there, and then cut that part out, and then restart it again, or what have you. What is the point of
It's
leaving
not
that
like
in?
they were on, yeah, it's not like they were on a set where, oh, the lights, the camera, the crew. No,
Yeah.
they were partying, having dinner, and decided, and he made a point in saying we were so hot and bothered that we just had to fuck. But if you're so hot with Diego, then chances are you're going to be hot with him another time. So just
Exactly.
film another time when you
Yeah.
don't have lasagna the night and or whatever it is you went and had.
Chilis con carne.
Exactly. I know. Ooh, I made a mean chili colorado this weekend.
Ooh,
I
that
even
sounds
got
good.
the chilies and I soaked them and it's delicious. I was eating it for lunch today. It's delicious. But yeah, I would not.
But you didn't bottom afterwards, did you?
I did not. In fact, I went out last night and I said, nope, not happening. Not put on your big boy underwear that's unattractive tonight because you're just going to hang out with your friends. And that is that. You had chili colorado and I love it, but it's very spicy and no, not happening. And
Exactly.
much less, yeah. And I don't even have an OnlyFans account. So, you know.
See? There it is,
Yeah.
right there.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Would you unsubscribe, Cody?
I probably would not subscribe in the first place.
You wouldn't subscribe in the first place, though, right? Yeah,
I didn't want to say
figured.
that earlier, but since you asked.
When you said, meh.
I don't want to see that. Just like
I don't want Valerie
Valerie
Cherish.
Cherish.
I don't want to see that.
Fuck his
Well,
drag.
Exactly. All right. Well, apparently, Cody, moving on here in the UK, there is a demand for fetish clubs, and it's higher than ever. And newcomers are telling why a huge uptick in attendance and membership post lockdown suggests that people are needing kinky spaces more than ever. And a lot of it they liken to just being in lockdown, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they write, we've all been doing our best to exist in an environment that's unfriendly, unsafe, uncomfortable, and well, pretty unhappy. And, you know, I'll post this on Tags Podcast because they really go into profiles, but in general, they liken it also not just because of the lockdown, but because of when things opened up again, there's a lot of strife going on in the world. And I think people I've noticed just in general, the amount of play spaces popping up more. I get several emails of different groups that are sex positive groups that are popping up more, even more mainstream clubs. I was told here in New York that are having kind of finding their dark room areas kind of because I think people have been locked up and people are really needing to feel their sexuality on many levels. And so fetish, I think people are kind of like, fetish, you want to explore more, right? Not just sex, right? I mean, you were just talking a minute ago about, Cody, maybe getting Joe and you to act out a whole scene.
Go on the Sniffies app. Hey.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think there's an uptick in this because of what's been going on?
I can definitely see it, and I can definitely see why this such a thing like this would be happening in lockdown. It's just like you're all bottled up and you're shaking the soda bottle, and it's just going to explode and erupt everywhere. And I and I think that's a good analogy because when everybody's exploding from all the sex that they're having too. So hello, goodbye. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
And I can see how people would want to explore in a sex club or something like that of that nature because it's kind of taboo and people have been locked up and sequestered into themselves for so long that they want to feel that human connection in different ways. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, like this Halloween, I spent it with you, and it was so many people got dressed up this year because we want to explore different sides of ourselves. And fetish often, you know, it's easy to maybe get on Sniffies or something like that and have a quickie, but I think we're longing for something even more. And with fetish, oftentimes fetish isn't just the act of wham bam, thank you ma'am. It's a lot more extended and explorative, and involves, like in the BDSM community, it might involve leather and various types of play that you have to don and take on different roles that can't be done in just 10 minutes. It has to be really explored. And I think we're longing to explore that different side of ourselves,
Oh,
that
I
you can
agree.
kind of immerse yourself, if you will, into, out of, I think there's so much craziness going on right now.
Hmm.
And I think we want to just part of escapism too. And
Oh yeah,
but I
for
think
sure.
done
Um,
well, fetish can be very healthy, and I love it. And I have plenty of them. So I will continue to explore my fetishes. What were
I
you going to say?
agree. And I feel like people during the quarantine and the lockdown, people have been kind of exploring their sexuality and getting to know themselves more. So I can see how them acting in this fashion could be them getting to know themselves more and explore their sexuality a little bit more as well. And I think that's something that we've covered extensively on this podcast. So yeah.
Yeah. Unlike that story, this next story is talking this the US Sun reports that Valley of the Dolls, the first lesbian sex robots, may be coming soon, as well as a gay male version, sex bots they're calling them. And
Oh.
they're going to be programmed, the AI is going to program them to be gay. The female one is bi, and the this one I'm not for so much.
Does it look
The
like
C-
Matthew Camp?
yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say that the CEO of this one says he hopes to release Henry. Why did the male one's going to be called Henry
Oh,
sometime in 2022? I'm not sure about that name.
I
Saying the
know,
company
right?
still needs to develop its artificial intelligence and fully functioning bionic penis. So where we were just talking about, Cody, a minute ago, about having more interaction and exploring fetishes that really have to do with people and
Hmm.
interaction and longing for touch, and really just deep diving into that. This one, to me, a doll, and like we said, the Matthew Camp life-size doll isn't going to work for me, even if it does
Yeah.
have a bionic penis. I mean,
I
I
mean,
would.
where can I get that though? I would like a banana penis for myself. Just
Okay, Steve Austin, I know. Right, I know. They should have put that on the original Steve Austin too,
yeah.
because that would have been hot.
Hey.
Yeah, hey. I don't know. I said it before when we were talking about Matthew Camp that I would just be too freaked out or probably forget that the doll was in the apartment somewhere, and it would just freak me out. Or would the AI somehow trip up somehow and in the
Yeah,
middle of the
and
night
kill you.
come and rape me or something? And do you have a case if can you say you were raped by your Henry doll? I mean,
I, I
Your
mean, you
Honor,
bought
he
it.
had a
You bought it.
bionic penis. This wasn't any penis. It was a bionic penis. So, I
And
mean,
I told him no, but you bought the thing, so I don't know where. This just feels to me like the beginning of the machines rising up
beginning of the
and taking over the world. And
end. Yeah.
so it's a no for me as well. I'm gonna have to pass, but I would like
Yeah.
to apply to get a bionic penis because I would like one of those to attach it to me
Okay.
so I can have one because I think that that's going to be something that I could put to good use.
The closest I'm going to get is I just got a penis pump in the mail.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
I had a guest on the show, a sex and intimacy coach, Susan Bratton, on, and she works with a Dr. Kaplan, and they sent me this penis pump. And it's got the cool thing about it. I'm going to read the whole thing,
Hmm.
you know, because I want to make sure I do it right. But they
The
have
description.
different size. Yeah, they have different size pumps for different penises, which makes it very sizable for you. And that's the closest I'm going to get to a bionic penis.
Okay.
I mean, I might have to do that and get right on Sniffies and just go. But I will let you know on that. And if anyone wants information, I will post this penis pump on tagspodcast.com to show you how you can get one as well.
I want one.
Yeah, I'll be documenting my results on this and see is it growing or not. But very excited about that. This Christmas season. Oh my gosh, so much fun, Cody, as always. Yes, and Cody will be back with me this Wednesday night for Tags Live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on the Get Vocal platform. You can find that information by going to tagspodcast.com and follow Cody. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching on Instagram, as well as his personal account at Mr. Maurice on Instagram as well. Cody, thank you so much. So much fun, as always.
Pleasure. Yes, always, boo.
Yeah, and in the meantime, continue having hot, gay sex.
Hello, this is Discover, and we take customer service very seriously. We know that if you have a question or concern about your credit card, that's a serious matter, and you need to talk to a real person about it. So we offer around-the-clock access to seriously talented representatives in the USA. Again, it's a serious endeavor. The only funny thing about it is Bob. If you call us and Bob answers, you're in for a treat. Get 100% US-based customer service and talk to a real person day or night. Discover. Exceptionally common sense.
What can you do if you wake up rested? Improve your overall health and performance with deep, restful sleep and app-controlled cooling technology by Chili Sleep. Enjoy uninterrupted and high-quality deep sleep that caters to your body's natural rest pattern. Chili Sleep helps you rest soundly beside your partner with temperature settings adjusted specifically for your side of the bed. Visit chilisleep.com/try. That's CHILISLEEP.com/TRY.